Thank you very much for joining me today. We're going to be discussing development, real estate, architecture, and everything Miami. Very excited to be here today with Danielle and Naftali. Thank you very much for joining us. Coming here from New York to discuss Miami, discuss development, real estate, architecture, and all good things. Thank you. So let's just start off with talking about what drives you, what really inspires you in regards to architecture and design, because your family's business is quite iconic. I'd love to know a little bit about how it started, a little bit of history.
Sure. So I've been with the company almost 10 years now. And one of the things that, our philosophies at Naftali Group is when we are looking at a site, when we are looking at a development, we really try to understand what the neighborhood, what the demographic, what the history is, and try to think about really what the customer, our end user, needs. And really the way that we kind of start this whole process is really try to meet with as many brokers, as many people that we say are on the field, and try to understand what's missing in the market. What does the end user, whether it's a condominium or a rental or even retail, we try to really understand what's missing in the market, and that's really our basis to try to develop what the end product will be.
So I understand you recently launched a project in Miami. I've seen the designs, it's incredible. Congratulations. So GEM Private Residences.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the location, the style of the building,
Sure.
what makes it different?
Sure. So when we look to enter the South Florida market and really develop a new product here, what we felt was really missing was quality. We saw a huge gap of quality residences, and I'm not only talking about the slabs of marble, I'm talking about really the overall landscape of the building, from floor plans and structure and materials and amenities and programming. And we saw a really big gap there for what we call a mid-market product. Of course, when you pay $4,000, $5,000 a foot on the sand, there was beautiful product, but what we saw was a very big shift during COVID of people coming from the Northeast, from California, from all different parts of the US and internationally, and really looking for a better product than what was delivered here in previous cycles. For those of you that don't remember, the cycle before this one, really what people delivered here as developers was what we call decorator ready, which basically was an apartment. You got an empty floor plan, no floors, nothing, no finishes were delivered, and people had to come in, and the building was under construction for another few years because every apartment had to be finished. So what we saw here was a mediocre product, and our philosophy at Naftali Group is life is too short. We're not gonna waste time building product that's mediocre. We wanna deliver amazing product, and it doesn't always mean it needs to be the most expensive. So our thought process for GEM, which is located in Miami World Center, it's a fairly new neighborhood that's still in the process of being developed, was very attractive to us because it really is one of the only neighborhoods in Miami that's been designed to be what we call walkable, right? In New York, that's very common. In some of the bigger urban cities around the world, that's very common. But here in Miami, or just in South Florida in general, many neighborhoods were developed by, all different developers. It wasn't really thought about from an urban perspective of, let's say, the ground floor. And Miami World Center, at the end of the day, it's obviously been developed nicely, but still in the process. You will be able to walk out your front door, go to the park, go to the bayfront area, go to a Miami Heat game. You have amazing transportation from the Bright Line, and you can walk, get a cute cup of coffee, get dinner. So we really focused on this neighborhood for what we think will be a great value and a great investment.
So we touched upon New York. You're obviously from New York, and we've seen a huge migration in Florida since the pandemic of full-time New Yorkers. What is your take on it? Are you seeing this trend growing? Do you think that there will be much more migration from the Northeast as well as California, or do you think it's just a passing fad?
No, I think Miami's here to stay. I think in previous cycles people were a little bit hesitant, but I'm sure that Miami's here to stay. The reason being is COVID matured it very quickly, but people want to live here. The lifestyle is amazing, and you really have everything here. You have the entertainment, you have the great food, you have the hospitality, you have the work, right? You have a lot of companies that relocated down here. People love the lifestyle, and I wouldn't say it's only the Northeast. I think that's something that is obviously affecting people coming down here, but you have all different people coming from across the US, but you have a lot of South Americans, you have people coming from Canada, we see a lot of people coming from Europe, London. I mean, we see a migration from all over the world. It's really a city that is international. And it's incredible what's happening here, and I think will continue to happen.
Are you finding overall the demographic of buyers in South Florida to be very different from New York? I assume the New York buyers are local, whereas the Florida buyers can be from pretty much any country in the world.
Yeah.
Are you working on promoting your projects on a more international level right now?
For Gem in Miami, there is obviously, we have a following in the Northeast. People know our product. Being able to come down here and buy from a developer they trust and has a great reputation has helped us a lot. But we are doing more, I would say, creating more efforts on the South American side. We have our sales team who's traveling between Mexico and Colombia, Brazil, Venezuela, to really try to educate that market on the new development.
Let me ask you this. We asked everyone this, and the answers were all over the place. What keeps you up at night?
All the work. No, I think we have. I've worked really hard. I've been now at the company 10 years, but with all of the developments in the pipeline right now, it's really about making sure that we don't lose what we've worked very hard for, which is our reputation. We're known for delivering quality. We're known for delivering a wonderful product, and it's very important for me, maybe you say the next generation, but also I think for anyone that works at our company, it's important that we continue to deliver the next projects with that same caliber. And I don't think people understand how many hours and how much work that takes, but that's extremely important to me.
Listen, I think for all incredible brands, people generally don't understand what goes into them and how much work and dedication and thought. So I think you guys are doing a great job. I want to thank you for making a trip from New York to be here today with us at B&B Italia and Design District to discuss everything design, architecture, and what Naftali Group is bringing to Miami.